President Trump has released water from 2 dams in the Central Valley, just as promised.
The president says over the first 3 days, 5 billion gallons of water will be released. John Ramos spoke with an expert who says the move actually doesn't help anyone.
It's times like this, when winter storms are causing the rivers that feed into the California Delta to run high, that water managers hope we can capture and store as much water as possible for the dry summer months. And that's why so many people are scratching their heads over what President Trump just did. On Friday, President Trump posted an announcement showing a photo of the, quote, beautiful water flow that I just opened in California, end quote. By executive order, he directed the Army Corps of Engineers to open the floodgates at 2 dams in reservoirs in Tulare County. In a statement from Washington, D.C., the Corps said, quote, consistent with the executive order, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is releasing water from Terminus Dam at Lake Cahuilla and Schaefer Dam at Lake Success to ensure California has water available to respond to the wildfires, end quote. But there are a few problems with that.
And apparently, Mr. Trump felt that that was going to help Southern California. Well, number one, those rivers aren't connected to Southern California. That water will not get to Southern California. And number two, that's water that the Corps was holding for farmers to irrigate with next summer. Releasing it now when it's raining doesn't do anybody good, except it creates the very real risk of potential flooding.
Barry Nelson has his own reasons for being angry about this. He is policy representative for the Golden State Salmon Association, which for the last 2 years has not been able to fish because of the shockingly low numbers of Chinook salmon still remaining in the wild.
California salmon are right now at one of the most disastrous points they've been at certainly in human history. We've now gone to a point where many of our most important salmon runs are on the brink of extinction.
The fishermen say the salmon need larger flows in rivers during dry months to survive, and though they're frequently competing with Central Valley agriculture for water, this time even the farmers aren't happy.
The agriculture community looks at this and says, what is going on here? That is water that was being held in storage for farmers to grow stuff next summer. Releasing water now only does one thing. It puts people at risk from flooding.
President Trump understood that when he had those dams open?
No.
Nelson is concerned that this waste of billions of gallons of water will be an indication of the kind of resource management they can expect for the next 4 years.
California has the most complex plumbing system on the planet. It's not a simple thing to operate, and if you think it's simple and order people to make what look like simple decisions to you, you wind up making really dumb decisions. What's interesting here is that this experience with this just dumb release of water that didn't benefit anybody and threatened public safety shows that expertise actually matters when you're running big, complicated systems. We'll see if anyone in Washington, D.C. is listening to that lesson.
Nelson says he believes that people within the Army Corps of Engineers must know that releasing water now is pointless. But he thinks as a branch of the U.S. military, they were simply following orders from their commander-in-chief.